Hi, this is Himanshu from creativeyatra.com. Today we have Zac O Yeah, this famous Swedish writer with us. So let's catch along with him.
Hi, it's great to be here in Ahmedabad.
Please, sir, please, it's an honor to actually interview. Sir, we would like to know that what are the differences between, the culture and not only culture, the literature of Sweden and India. I would like to know that.
I think, in a general sense, Swedish literature is very much like obsessed with the interior of the characters. Like they brood a lot and they have a lot of depressions and kind of a lot of sad thoughts that are often um, part of the plot of the novel. Like the characters are often very troubled and it's like if you have seen the movies of Ingmar Bergman, the dialogue is not the most important part, but it's like what you think that the characters are feeling when you see a film by Ingmar Bergman, for example. And literature also has a very much similar kind of character there. Often, like the most popular books are about some character that goes around brooding for many days, alone, sitting on an island together with two cats and a bottle of rum. In Indian fiction, I feel is much more about the social interaction between the characters. Like it's about the larger thing, the family. The maybe the conflict between the mother and the son, or the daughter and the father, or all kinds of uncles and aunties are in the picture, and so the Indian novel often has a much more larger canvas with many more characters, and the focus is more on like how these characters interact in the various ways that they do. And of course, there's like an interior world in an Indian novel as well. But and I think that is partly because Indian society is a much more complex society as compared, a Western country like Sweden is a very small country. I think all of Sweden's population is about the same as Ahmedabad's population. So you could fit in the whole country in one city. Typically, if you look at, say, R.K. Narayan's novels, which I like, I admire them very much, and I've been very much influenced by them. Each of his novels will take some character, it may be the vendor of sweets, or the financial expert, or the English teacher. The titles are like that of his novels. So he'll take that character and look at that character and his larger social situation. And the whole plot is about, what happens between this character and the world. Whereas in a Swedish novel, the world doesn't necessarily have to be there. It's like so much in
The
the
world
head.
is actually in the head itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I would like to know, as you are also a Gandhian writer, sir, I would like to know that what if just imagine that Gandhiji would have been here in this era? How would he would have dealt with his laws? He had these 11 laws with him, like he used to follow non-violence, then minimalistic living.
Yeah.
So these are the 11 vows that he had.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
So what do you think, sir? Would he be able to manage all these 11 vows even in this era?
Well, he was a very adaptable person also. So, despite what we think about him, he was also always willing to adjust. Like suppose he had an argument with somebody, and he had his point of views, and the other person was sharing his or her points of view, and Gandhiji would often say things like, "So if that person convinces me that that person is right, then I'm willing to, consider that he or she is right, and then adjust my views accordingly." So, and through his life, he was changing a lot. Like he was when he was living in England, he was wearing a tie and top hat and shoes and very fancy costumes. And then later on, as he was living here in India, in Ahmedabad, he would switch to the loincloth and live more, almost like his idea at that point was that he wanted to dress the way the poorest of Indians would also dress. So he was a very adaptable person who changed a lot through his life. So I think like if Gandhi ji was here today, he would probably find some way to deal with the world. Of course, I think he would not approve of the violence in the world today, because even though he lived through two world wars, I think like these days there's wars all over the world all the time, and I think he would be very, disappointed with humanity, because he was so much focused on ahimsa and the peace and respect of other people and all, and and that is somehow beginning to miss in the modern world.
Thank you so much for talking to us, sir. That was the Arke Narayan of Sweden. Thank you so much for listening to Creative Yatra. Stay tuned to know more about Gujarat Literature Festival. Thank you.